Welcome everybody. This is our final race briefing. Welcome to Gastein Salzburger Land. Welcome to Adidas Infinite Trails 2021. That is a $1 million view just behind me. This is the backdrop. That's the arena for Celebrate the Sport and celebrating together the Adidas Infinite Trails 2021. After holding my documents for the legal permit in my hands, after getting the COVID permit, I have another very important document, and this is the official weather forecast for tomorrow. There's a term or an explanation for this kind of weather which we're going to have tomorrow. It's called Kaiserwetter. And Kaiserwetter means that is the perfect weather for having a great race. Welcome everybody. Around 700 athletes from 36 different nations coming to Gastein to celebrate together for the fantastic sport of trail running and having a great day in the community. It's about 400 volunteers being prepared for you guys and getting ready on their different jobs and different positions. And we are also ready. I want to give you the last and the most important information right now in our last race briefing. And the base is the first race briefing. So if you haven't watched it, remember you signed it when you were on registration. Please do me a favor and do it. Also, if you have this great feature of the Neuron app with the course visualization, just before going to bed, it takes, when you go in on the 21 course, it takes you 20 minutes and you see all the course once again. So coming back to the weather forecast. The weather forecast for Saturday, September 25th is, it will be a high pressure system all day long. There is not a chance for a single drop of rain or a thunderstorm. I think this is the best news which I can give you at the moment. And also a more detailed weather forecast that you get a little bit familiar with the alpine weather and especially with the alpine temperatures. There might be tomorrow morning around 5 o'clock until 7 o'clock before the sun rises. There could be a little bit of fog in the morning. That is also a little bit wet. It could be a little bit freezy. We're expecting the temperature tomorrow morning at the start between 6 o'clock and 8 o'clock around 3 degrees to 5 degrees. So it's going to be very chilly, guys. Prepare for this. At 10 o'clock we will already have about 10 degrees and the temperature in the afternoon is climbing up to the highest point of 21 degrees, which is a perfect weather in the Gastein Valley. Our temperatures in the altitude, if you're racing, for example, the M loop or the L loop, prepare for temperatures in the morning at 8 degrees as well in the afternoon at 15. For everybody who's going over the Kraukogel, which is right behind me, or over the Jamska Kogel, which is Europe's highest grass mountain, up to 2,500. It could be ground frost on the top. So prepare also, it could be freezy, it could be icy. The temperature between 9 and 11 is between 5 and 8 degrees. So prepare for colder weather in the morning and some great weather in the afternoon. What does that mean? That means we have a basic mandatory equipment. I'm not going to repeat anything of this. You know exactly where it stands. It's in the rules, it's in the race briefing PDF, and it's also in the race briefing. That means also with this situation, there is no bad weather courses. So we're running the normal courses, which we have you explained, which you have in GPS tracks. Download them or get your printed maps and put them into your equipment. Basic mandatory equipment means that we're also going to do a mandatory equipment check on the fly, that we don't want to see everything. So when you're lining up in the morning and enter the Kur Park for check-in, please have your medical kit, your rain jacket or your long sleeve ready, and we just want to you just present it to us. Quick through, we don't touch it, and we do some random draws for a little bit more into a deeper look into your equipment. You know your basic mandatory equipment and just check it before you go to bed tonight. Normal courses means no bad weather courses. Everything is the same as you saw it on the maps. Also, please do me a favor. This race is not on closed roads. It is in traffic. That means you have to obey all traffic laws in force. When there is a stop sign, that means stopping. If there is a car coming, the car will not wait for you. You're going to be hit by the car. So going into some of the details, talking about the aid stations, you know, the fantastic buffet is ready for you. Remember, you please disinfect your hands when you're coming into an aid station. And there's only one remark. As I mentioned in my last race briefing, that the Gamska-Kugel, which is right behind me, it is an emergency aid station. This is only mainly for the 65k runners going towards Posahöhe. But if you need something, there is a limited availability of food and products. So there's nothing like big things, no fruits, no veggies and stuff like this. That's only an emergency. Fill up at Raststätten and get ready for your day. There's 2 road crossings on the L loop and also on the 65k loop, which is really important. The one is in Böckstein, crossing the B167, which is a high frequently on the main road. There is stop signs, there is marshals. The marshal is a former police officer, so don't cheat him. He will not get you over the street if you're not stopping exactly on that position. There's also another road crossing, which is when you're coming from the aid station of the Angertal, which is really important when you're coming to that section. You see a stop sign and then you're going to take a left and you're running along the road. There will be pylons setting the way, and only on the last part of the course, after 100 meters, you're going to cross immediately over the road. The road is going like this, so there's traffic, there's signs, but please do me a favor, watch out for the course marshal's instructions. Cutoff times only on the L course and on the 65k course. There is a cutoff which is in Böckstein at the aid station, and the second cutoff is right behind me on the Stubner Kogel, where the sun is still on the top of the mountains. These cutoffs means also from that point onwards you have to have a headlight. So if you think you're making this one easily, then you don't need a headlight. But if you are around 4:30 or 5:30, you won't be allowed to continue without a headlight. Also, when you are on race course, after maybe you're coming there at 3:30 and you are on race course after 4:30, you need to have a headlight. Just keep this in mind. A headlight is very light. Put it in your bag just for safety. There's another thing which is for the 65k runners. There is this pole section on the ridge of Graukogel, and on this ridge you need your hand because it's a blocked terrain and you want to climb. And just remember, if you have your sticks in your hand, you won't be able. There is one rope section where you get support from the mountain rescue, and go into the race briefing. You see clearly where this section is, and remember the signs which we have, which is clearly marked with end or start of the section and the end of the section. Always keep smiling. We have a lot of photographers out on the race course which gonna take some amazing pictures with this backdrop for sure. Tomorrow morning for the race procedures. After waking up, you had a small breakfast, you're ready to rumble, and then you're making your way down to the Alpentherme. Remember, there's no backdrop off in the event arena. There is the lockers in the Alpentherme, which is the thermal spa. Lockers gonna open. Also, just go on the chart in the race briefing document, explains you everything. We're gonna be very strict because we don't want to have all categories on the same time in the Alpentherme. So from 5:30 onwards, it's gonna be only black numbers, which is the 65k runners. And you guys, you have your pre-start, and I got a lot of questions, what is pre-start? We're gonna line you up to the start. That's called the pre-start. And your start is at 7 o'clock. All starts will be rolling starts. That means every 3 seconds we're going to send you off, but this is what I'm going to explain in a minute. Pre-start time for our next athlete is going to be, as mentioned already, after the 5:30 are in the pre-start area, you guys going to be allowed to enter the Alpentherme. And also when everybody on the teams is on race course, it's going to be the 15K runners, which will be on the locker side. Pre-start time, as I mentioned, 6 o'clock for 65K, 6:35 for the teams, and 8:30, so you don't have to rush. It's the 15K pre-start. It's really important that you have your bib number on top. The bib number has 2 transponders on the back, so don't cut anything. You're going to cut your time and you won't be in the timing system. And also, freezy in the morning, you can wear a jacket, but don't put it too close and don't put the zipper off or on, because we need that number to be visible for detecting your times on the various up to 28 timing spots. In the morning, there is 10 Dixie toilets on your left-hand side, so don't worry. But please do us a favor. If you are in the pre-start area, don't go back and forth. So do your toilets, relax, and there's first come, first serve. Everybody has a netto time. When you're going out of the finish line shoot, this is the time where your personal time starts. No rush, nothing else. When you hear the gun goes off, that doesn't mean it is your start time running. I think this is really, really important to understand. Start line up. You coming into the start area, especially for the team 65K runners, is not a problem. It doesn't matter where you are, left, middle or right side. It's really important for the teams because the M runners want to be on the left side, because you taking off after on the finish line shoot to your left. If you're standing on the right side, you know that what this means. It's going to be crossing. So please be on the left side. Keep the social distance of 1.5 meters, guys. We are not using any FFP2 masks, so we need to keep the distance. Stay on your position. When you are positioned in the pre-start area, stay there. Our starter will come to you. You're not going and you're not moving towards the finish line or to the start line. Stay there. As I said, you have a netto time. Just wait there before when the starter comes, and you off and you go. This is a maximum start time calculated right now by 5 minutes. So nothing to worry about. The start intervals will be 3 seconds. So, and this is also great for our 2 great announcers to give you that intro. When you're leaving, there's a photographer waiting for you guys and taking that memory photo shoot of the Adidas Infinite Trails team race. Also, really important, there's a lot of information which we published, which I explained to you in the race office, which is in the event bag, covering your after race experience. And the after race experience, I think it's going to be amazing. When you're coming into the finish line, there's a short 8-station section which we call pick and run. And pick and run means quick, drink, eat and out. There's no swimming pools as we had it in 2019, no big relaxing area. This is behind us. It's only 100 meters to go to the Alpentherme, and the Alpentherme is closed and specially reserved for you guys with your girlfriends, boyfriends, whatever, your kids. Also, if you haven't found it, in your starter pack there's a supporter ID, gives you a 50% discount, and there's also a kind of like a banknote, which is the Gasteiner Thaler, which is a currency here in the valley. It's not a blank piece of paper. It's 10 euros. You can redeem it in a lot of shops, in restaurants, as well in the Alpentherme. Bring your wife, 19 euros normal, 10 euros off the Gasteiner Thaler. It's 9 euros for the whole day. Do us a favor. When you want to have a massage, please shower. I think that's fair to all the massage therapists. Having a shower before, everybody is laughing now, I know exactly, but we had it before. That is the reason I'm mentioning it. We have great massage service provided to you by the Adidas Reload team in cooperation with the team of the Alpentherme physiotherapist. Eric from Compex is waiting for you in the fitness studio outside with muscle stimulation and recovery. Also, there's food with alcohol-free beer of Edelweiss with Gasteiner as well, with your food voucher. And your food voucher is in your event bag. don't redeem it before you're there. If you have problems, there will be people guiding you through and helping you. Power bar is providing you a real power bar, which is protein shakes, making you fit again, and then it's time already to grab your medal. For COVID reasons and for the COVID protocol, we're not going to distributing these medals. I know it's a pity that our children of the schools which have painted the back of your medals aren't able to distribute the medals personally to you, but they're sending some big greetings right now. And so there is an adidas TRALS medal corner outside of the Therme where you're going to pick your medal like in a kind of a little bit of Olympic ceremony. And then the adidas TRALS team is presenting you a photographer, so you be in behind the backdrop where the winners on the evening will be also. Don't miss that opportunity. It's also the same area where you're going to pick up your Infinite Trails finisher shirt. Then it's 8 o'clock. It's awards ceremony time. We're starting not a party. You can't party hard during COVID, but we have a get together with the community, which we're going to start with our DJs around 6 o'clock in the main pool area. And then we have a celebration at 8 o'clock with all our winners. And then at 10:30, it's time to close the party. And then we're gonna leave the Alpentherme, but before 8 o'clock, before the party, it's gonna be amazing because all the volunteers have been on the course outside working in logistics and race management at the registration, handing over your starter bags, will be with you guys together. And this is the reason why we call it Celebrate the Sport. And this is like, we're not only celebrating on our trails, we're celebrating the community together. As I mentioned before, the event bags is a great tool. There's so many information and all the information which you can join. There's also free codes for the Adidas Runtastic app and much and more and more. That's it from my side, guys. I hope that everybody will enjoy an accident-free race, and it will be a great pleasure for me to see you on the course, to welcome you on the course. Have a safe race and see you tomorrow morning. Jetzt bloß keinen Fehler machen, weil jetzt müssen wir erst sagen, speichern.